Hello and welcome back to our FCS Dynasty and NCAA Football 2006. Today we've got the 6-3 Jackrabbits of South Dakota State traveling to take on the 4-4 Nicholls State Colonels. Let's take a look at their roster. Alfred Burgess, 82 overall free safety. Stanford Tucker, their top receiver, is out with a 3-game suspension, and that's a big loss for them. Almost 1,000 yards receiving this year, 11 touchdowns for the sophomore receiver. And their quarterback, Alfred Bass, impact player. We've seen him before in this dynasty against North Dakota State, I believe. He's had a pretty good year so far. 2 rushing touchdowns. They do run an option-style offense, so it's going to be interesting to see if the Jackrabbits' thin defense can hold up against them and outscore them, really. 72 overall kicker, which is pretty good for an FCS school. Kickers are not very good in this dynasty. South Dakota State, number 1 in the Big 12 North currently. With a win here today, they would become 5-1, and they would only need one more conference victory after that to clinch the Big 12 North. They do take on North Dakota State next week, so that'll be for that division. Taking a look at the Colonels' schedule, they lost to Florida Atlantic and Arkansas State, and they had 2 victories in a row, including an impressive win over Western Carolina, who has been an outstanding offensive team this year. Then they lost to North Dakota State, 52-49 in a big shootout game. Beat Southeastern, lost to Furman, who was the number 2 team in the Big 12 North. Then they beat Sam Houston State, who was ranked at one point in the season. Oh no, we have a suspension. Brahms North Academics, they want 3-game suspension because of forged progress reports. We've seen this before this season, and we're going to have to suspend Brahms North. That's a big loss, big-time tight end. He's got 32 receptions, 714 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the season. So they're going to be missing a big part of their offense today against the Colonels. And we're going to go ahead and suspend him for 2 games. So he will be out for the North Dakota State game as well. So that could be a huge loss in that subscriber versus subscriber game. I do have South Dakota State winning this one, though, in Louisiana. I'll see you guys down on the field here in a moment.
Along with my partners Kirk Herbstreit and Lee Corso. A mild, clear day is what we'll have for the away team and the Nicholls State Colonels. This appears to be a heck of a late season matchup. They're playing today in hopes of impressing the pollsters and the bowl reps. And here come the Colonels. The Colonels don't seem to match up too well in this one. Kirk, I'm not sure I like their chances very much.
The away team needs to look no further than their quarterback to figure out what holds this team together. His ability to read the defense and take what they give him is the reason they'll win this football game. He's a smart young man.
Kirk, great minds think alike. I really believe that these guys are going to do it.
Well, there it is. You heard it, folks. Now let's take you down to the captains at midfield.
Everybody's picking the Jackrabbits today, and I got him because of Daily Redding. Look at him off to the races already. Picks up 16 yards. He has been phenomenal this season, and he is going to have over 1,300 yards. Here's Mason Smith breaking a tackle. Still going in the open field past the 40, the 30. Runs over a defender, and Mason, the closer, Smith, is in the end zone for the score. Oh, my goodness. That's his 8th touchdown run of the season, and that 64-yard run puts him over 400 yards rushing. And here's another fun stat for you. He has 0 fumbles on the season. He also has 3 catches for 38 yards on offense. And we'll get into his defensive stats in a moment. Quick pass over the middle to Ryan, a couple yards short of the first down. They're going to call pass interference on Chris Major, who leads all of our FCS schools in tackles. And he's got a lot, 73 now. And Brian is stopped short, 4th and 2. Nice stop for the Jackrabbit defense. They've been not awful this season, but not great either. They've had some hit or miss games as Jackson finds Marks over the midfield marker. That is Marks' 19th catch on the year, over 400 yards receiving now. Jackson gonna throw it again. Rolling out right side, and he's hit as he throws, and that's gonna be intercepted by Parks. He'll return it up the left side and taken down at the 41-yard line by Jack Marks. That is only Lamar Jackson's 10th interception on the season. Here's Horner, the fullback, picking up about 10 yards and a first down for the Colonels. 2nd and 10. Bass on the option. Pitches out. It's fumbled, and that's recovered by Hicks. And Jamar Hicks is going to have a touchdown on a scoop and score, folks. He has been one of the most phenomenal players this whole series, and he's not even a subscriber player. 67-yard fumble return for a touchdown. I'm going to have to put him on some of our FCS player awards on their watch lists, even though he is on some of the big-time FBS award watch lists as well. And here's a fumble forced by Mason Smith. That's going to be his second forced fumble on the season. And here's a nice completion over to Ryan. 2nd and 7. Bass will hand to Horner. Horner's got the first down. Another forced fumble for Mason Smith, his second of the game, 3rd on the season. Phenomenal day for him after that 64-yard touchdown run started things off. Bass on the option, close to the marker. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Bass will keep it again, take it down. Reinhard Irwindowski on the tackle. He's in there playing some corner, and they're going to get him for a face mask on that play. 1st and 10. Bass on the option. Frank Theory stuffs that play from the start. His 26th tackle on the season, 15th for a loss. Major on a tackle again. This guy is everywhere. We've seen him play linebacker this year, and he's back at safety now. Nicholls State settles for a field goal. 10-play, 51-yard drive. Took almost 3 minutes off the clock. Jackrabbits still on top. It's 14-3 here in Louisiana. Jackson on the option, keeps it himself up past the 20, 25, and dives for the first down marker. 92 yards rushing so far for the Jackrabbits. Jackson rolling out left side on play action. Lobs it up. TJ Maxey comes down with it at midfield. Nice reception for the backup tight end, filling in for Brahms North due to the suspension. Jackson rolling around, evading defenders. Deep shot down the right sideline. Reinhard Irwindowski comes down with it at the 1-yard line. Fantastic play. And Irwindowski is up over 800 yards receiving just on 30 catches this year. He also has 9 touchdowns. Daley Redding, halfback off tackle, halfback touchdown. And that is Daley Redding's 18th touchdown run of the season. He has 20 total touchdowns now. And he's fumbled it 3 times on the year. Over 1,300 rushing yards. He's been an absolute monster. And he should be in the discussion for the Heisman at some point. What a hit by Chris Major on Ford. Oh my. Just absolutely lifted him up off the ground and planted him. Chris Major, one of the top safeties in the country, not just for FCS schools. Bass left side, completes it out to Ryan. Chris Major on another tackle. And he has 8 tackles today already. That gives him 80 for the season. Jamar Hicks on the punt return from the 21-yard line. Going to go left side. Has the speed, has the edge. Past the 40 and taken out at the 46-yard line. Nice return for the special teams demon. Mark Jackson, play action, throws it out left side. It's intercepted by Cook off the deflection. He wanted Daley Redding. I don't think Redding ever saw the pass. There's a holding call on Chad Filler. That'll be declined. Chad Filler having a great year. 53 pancakes, 2 sacks allowed. Fullback Horner gets a carry, breaks a tackle, and he'll have a first down for the Colonels. They're down 21-3. They're still fighting. You can't count out this option offense, and here is Toth on the option inside the 10-yard line, and he is a small halfback, and it actually looks like he might be a receiver with that 82 number on his jersey. Nicholls State will punch it in for the score from 4 yards out to the fullback, their number 2 fullback. 50 seconds remaining. 3rd down and 8 for the Jackrabbits. Lamar Jackson, 50 seconds is a lifetime for him. He finds TJ Maxey up to the 42-yard line. Only 3 minutes of possession so far for the Jackrabbits. Here's Daley Redding, off tackle again, past the 40. Breaks the tackle, still going. Spins down at the 22-yard line. Great open field tackle by the safety. Jackson, read option, left side. And he'll get close to the marker, about a 9-yard pickup with 18 seconds. It's 4th and 1. Goings, the fullback gets a carry, but he fumbles the football inside the 10-yard line. And that's been a pretty big issue for the Jackrabbits this season, is turnovers inside the red zone. So it could be 28-10 right now, or 24-10 at least. But instead it's 21-10. Jackrabbits on top. They'll kick it off to the Colonels to start things off here in the second half. And Parks on the return up the left side. And Parks is going to have himself a kick return for a touchdown. Untouched. Mason Smith, closest player to him. And that was just way too easy for the Colonels. 94-yard touchdown return. That'll make it 21-17. Very close game here in Louisiana. As Lamar Jackson finds Robinson wide open down at the 35-yard line. There was 3 receivers against one defensive back. Quick pass, TJ Maxey, first down over the middle. Lamar Jackson has that quick release. It's very nice. Mason Smith will get a carry, breaks a tackle, and gets up to the 20-yard line for a first down. Jackson again, going to throw it all day over the middle, wide open, TJ Maxey, and that was almost picked off. And the linebacker, he almost had his hands on it. But instead, a nice touchdown pass for Lamar Jackson, his 21st on the season. See how close this linebacker was to picking that off, a couple inches away from his hands. And another perfect throw from Lamar Jackson. We've seen that time and time again this season. Him and Alexander Connor, the top two quarterbacks for our schools so far. And it's not even close, really. 3rd and 6 for the Colonels. Bass on the option, keeps it himself. He has the first down. Chris Major with another tackle. I think he has 10 on this game now. Bass option, nice fake pitch, gets him the first down. What a shifty move. Quarterback has 61 yards rushing. 1st and 10. Bass on the option yet again. Left side, Major hits him. And that is a first down because there is a personal foul face mask on Chris Major. His second face mask penalty of the game. 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Horner has himself a touchdown. And the Nicholls State Colonels are not going away in this game. They are putting up a heck of a fight. And what better way to do it but in front of your home crowd. 3rd down. Daley Redding gets a carry. First down now. Up past the 35-yard line. This Jackrabbit offense is just too deadly. There's way too many weapons. Even with Brahms North out, they have so many weapons anyway. TJ Maxey's the backup tight end, and he's a phenomenal receiver as well. Jackson rolling around all day, still waiting for someone to get open. Finally finds Reinhard Wendowski inside the 15-yard line. Unbelievable play for Lamar Jackson. And play action again. Action Jackson rolling out. Throws it, and he's picked off by Purcell. And he's going to return this one up past the 30. Daley Redding giving chase, and he'll track him down at the 48-yard line. Not a good throw that time for Lamar Jackson. His 3rd pick of the game. That'll give him 12 on the season to go along with 21 touchdown passes. He also has over 700 rushing yards and 8 scores. Bass taken down short, and that is going to be Mason Smith on the tackle. 2-yard loss. Bass on the option, pitches it out. Adams has the first down. Chris Major took a bad angle. Jack Marks on the stop. Marks is in there playing some free safety. Bass pitches out to Adams again. Jack Marks gets run over. Mason Smith makes the tackle. And Marks has injured his chest. He just got the wind knocked out. He will return shortly in this game. It's the 4th quarter, folks. 4:30 to go. Bass throws it out. Picked off by Chris Major. That's his 5th interception on the season. He also has 5 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery on the year to go along with 80-plus tackles. Daley Redding, handoff right side, up past the 25-yard line, first down. He's 5th in the country in yards, tied for 3rd in the nation for touchdowns. Lamar Jackson again scrambling around, and somehow he's going to get a first down out of that. Incredible speed by the quarterback. 4:06 remaining. Jackson takes a deep shot, left side, comes down with it. That's Wendowski at the 32-yard line, first down. Wendowski now has 900 yards receiving. Daley Redding is loose, and Daley Redding is in for the score. That's going to make it a 2-touchdown game, or a 2-score game at least here. 35-24 as they celebrate in the end zone. They know that was a huge touchdown. Direct snap, a very rare direct snap in this dynasty. We don't see it very often because most of the time it's just a cheese play that works 99% of the time. Cooper, nice reception up to the 44-yard line. Only 50 passing yards today for the Colonels. And Adams is dropped for a big loss. Mason Smith, his 13th tackle of the game. Unbelievable. He's got 55 on the year now. And that was a nice completion out to Ford. Major almost had his hands on it. Looked like it went right through him. Pass going to throw again. Cooper, nice catch and a first down. Beats Hicks. Jackrabbits came into this game allowing 300-plus receiving yards per game. Not today, though. But the Colonels do get over 100 yards receiving with that reception. Pass on the option, does a fake pitch, spins, and he's going to get in for the score. And they're going to go for 2 points here to make it a field goal game. Pass, option, and he's going to walk in. Chris Major falls on his face, and the Colonels now within a field goal. But the dangerous Jackrabbit offense is back on the field. Mason Smith, the closer, comes in. He picks up a first down. Less than 2 minutes remain here, and Nicholls State only has one timeout remaining. Daily Redding off tackle, jukes to the outside. He's going to have a first down and more. Breaks a tackle, still going up past the 45 and down to the 42-yard line of the Colonels. 1:20 remaining. Goins, the fullback. He was a beast in the FCS tournament, and he breaks 2 tackles, just trucking through guys like it's nothing. Another first down for the Jackrabbits. 3rd down. 20 seconds remain. Lamar Jackson is going to take off. Lamar Jackson's going to have a touchdown run here. His 9th on this season. That was a 17-yard run. And that's going to put this ball game away, folks. Another conference victory for South Dakota State. This time over the 4-4 Nicholls State Colonels. Lamar Jackson had a rough day throwing it. 3 interceptions. But they pull out a 42-32 victory over the Colonels. Nice win for Jim Langer, the head coach. Offensive line did a phenomenal job today. They did allow some players to get through, but Jackson was always able to get away from the defensive line. Frank Theory had a nice game, a couple tackles for a loss. Chris Major balled out, and Mason Smith, another breakout game. 64-yard touchdown run to start things off. 13 tackles, 2 forced fumbles today. What a beast. He's turning into one of my favorite players to see in this dynasty right now. 0 punts today for the Jackrabbits. And Nicholls State got shut out in the first quarter. That was a big difference of the game. Lamar Jackson, 10 of 20, 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions today. 13.3 yard average, sacked once, along of 50. Daily Reddick, $160 on the ground, 2 scores. Mason Smith, 5 carries, 77 yards and a touchdown. Jackson, 44 yards on a score. Ryan Goins, the fullback, had a pretty good game. He did have that fumble inside the 5-yard line, but that 1 carry where he broke 2 tackles in the secondary was awesome. Erwindowski over 100 yards receiving. TJ Maxey filled in for the suspended Brahms North. He had a touchdown reception and 72 yards on 4 catches. Marks, 49 yards today. Daily Redding had a drop. Erwindowski also had a drop. Chad Filler, 8 pancakes, 0 sacks allowed. Dan DeBeers allows a sack today. That is the first sack he has allowed the entire season. He now has 52 pancakes, 1 sack allowed. Chad Filler, he now has 61 pancakes, 2 sacks allowed, and Gray North has 30 pancakes, 0 sacks allowed. Mason Smith, 14 tackles. Chris Major with 12. I don't know if we've seen 2 players get 10-plus tackles in a game yet in this entire dynasty, so that is very impressive. Of course, it did come against an option offense. 2 tackles for a loss for both of them as well. Chris Major, an interception. Mason Smith with 2 forced fumbles. Major also had 1 and a deflection, and Jamar Hicks had the fumble recovery for a 67-yard scoop and score. No field goals today for South Dakota State. No punts. Nothing special on returns. Jamar Hicks did have a 25-yard return, but nothing too crazy. Parks, Bass, Burgess, players of the game for Nicholls State. Redding, Major, and Smith, players of the game for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. With this win, they will most likely be ranked next week when they host the North Dakota State Bison, another Big 12 North game. And that's a subscriber versus subscriber matchup. Our next game, which will be out tomorrow, Savannah State hosts the 1-7 Morgan State Bears. I'll see you guys then. Take it easy.